Hi everyone, Tracy here. Today's topic is very exciting. It is joy. Without joy, life is blah, mundane, boring, suffering, anxiety. Every day we get up, go to work, pay our bills, feed our kids, take them to practice, go to the gym, make New Year's resolutions, eat healthy, read books, try to build a business, go to school, stay healthy, get sick, get into power struggles, fight with our spouse, get divorced, get remarried, go on vacation, come home, tired. Where is our joy? Where is it? Did you know that a successful life is one filled with joy? What good is it to have material possessions and tons of friends and you don't feel joy? Where does it come from? How do you tap into it? Glad you asked. I've spent my life so far asking that same question. Where is joy? How do I get it? And how can I keep it? I heard this saying, I think from Wayne Dyer, and he said, if I lose my keys inside the house, but I go outside to look because the lighting's better, will I find my keys? And the answer is no. So number one, where to look? Answer, inside of you, inside of your consciousness exists joy just waiting to be discovered. Having a new car is great and all, but if it had the capacity to bring us joy, then 2 years later, when we still have the car, we should still be joyful. Should we not? We think that our misery and our anxiety and our stress began in the world, but it didn't. It began in consciousness. It began in the beliefs, and it changes there. It changes in consciousness, which is inside of you. As a matter of fact, nothing exists outside of you because we're always experiencing our own perception of what we see out there. The mystics and the teachers say that you are not in the universe, but the universe is in you. And the reason that that is true is because we are always experiencing our own perception of the world. And you're just using your body as a reference point to say inside and outside. But if you used consciousness as in everywhere or nowhere in particular, then you have access to everything. To have a successful life is really about joy and tapping into that joy and feeling it every day, all day. And how do we do that? 2, we see the blocks to joy. You don't have to make the sun shine. You just remove the clouds that hide it from you. This is really good news because you don't have to search for it or seek it. It already exists inside of you. Not only does it exist inside of you, but it's the best treasure that you can find. Our medical and pharmaceutical industries are dealing with the symptoms of misery, the symptoms of anxiety, the symptoms of sickness. All we have to do is remove the blocks so that we can experience the joy. It's not something that you can get and seek. It's something that's already there. It was planted inside of us. The way that our world is set up now, we need money in order to survive, in order to pay the mortgage and buy food and everything. However, money isn't the cause of joy. The cause of joy is you. And you know there's a lot of rich, famous people out there that are miserable. If money had the capability or the capacity to bring joy, then they wouldn't kill themselves or be miserable. There's no greater success in the whole world than to find this joy, to feel it, to undo the blocks that exist that are hiding this joy from you, that is putting us in a depressed state, one that is full of fear and anticipation. The biggest culprit or hider of joy is the mind. We don't think our thoughts, we're being thunk. So thoughts come randomly. They are an option. They are not mandatory that we believe them. We are not the originator of our thoughts, so they're not your problem. Whatever comes before you that you become aware of is what you attune to. So you don't have to worry about the mind. You don't really have to go into meditation to try to quiet the mind. It's really not necessary for you to get peace, because peace is the same as joy. When you're peaceful, you're joyful, except it has different gradations. There's, excitement, and then there's mellow peace. We don't have any problems right here, right now, until we entertain a thought that comes in. And then we think, oh my God, there's a problem. Now I got to find a solution. And it never occurs to us that the very problem was actually the original thought. So you are not the thinker of thoughts. You are the awareness of thoughts. I know we want to take credit for these great ideas that we have and say, I thought that. Then when we have the negative thoughts, we don't want to admit that we've, been aware of those. So here's the big question. How can we remove the blocks that are causing us misery? There's two ways that I know of. One is just change your focus. When something shows up in your consciousness that you don't like, it's creating a contrast, and the contrast is showing what you don't like, so therefore you do know what you do like. Focus there. The second way is to question our beliefs, to question them until we can see that they're not as true as we think they are, and therefore they don't have the power. Actually, we gave thoughts power. They, in and of themselves, are just like flying fish. They just fly up on the boat, and then they fly back into the water. They're here, and then they're gone. They're here, and then they're gone. Nothing can take away your peace unless you say so. There comes a time when what we have and what we do is just not as important as what we are. And what we are is joy, because we take that into all of our situations, our relationships, our job, into the world, and we bring that joy. That is our identity. That is who we are. It's who we've become, minus all of the blocks. So if you're sad or depressed, angry, accept that that's what you're feeling. But know this, it doesn't have to stay that way. The only time that we're really the victim is when we buy or believe those thoughts. And we certainly are a victim. We can change it. We don't have to stay the victim. And when you get sick and tired of feeling that way, then you'll start focusing on the opposite of that, which is what you really want. Because a life without joy isn't a life at all. You could say, yeah, but my life is so miserable. Don't you know all the things that I've experienced and the things that I've been through? And I'm going to say, yeah, but don't you want to be joyful? Are you going to continue to focus and create that momentum over and over? You can't be depressed without depressive thoughts. It's impossible. And, I'm not here to tell you that your depression and your sadness isn't true. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is you can have joy when you change your focus or question your beliefs. And if you really want it bad enough, you'll do it to try to see if it works. Otherwise, you won't know. We all have 24 hours in the day. We have the same time. And how much can you honestly say out of those 24 hours, how much of that time did you practice seeing things the way that you want to see them? Or were you just repeating the same old thing? The definition of insanity is doing the same old thing over and over, expecting different results. So can you honestly say that out of those 24 hours, you practiced experiencing joy, looking for the things that you do want instead of the things you don't want? Have you questioned your beliefs? Have you? If somebody told you, hey, there's $1 million in your house and it's hidden, go find it, what do you think that you would do? How would you spend your day? Wouldn't you be tearing up, going through your whole entire house, the cushions, looking until you found it? So that's what I'm saying. Joy is inside the house. And when you believe that, and you start to know that, or you at least want to find out, is there $1 million in my house? You have to tear the house up before you can come to the conclusion that, I'm sorry, but there is no $1 million. And then you settle the matter and you stay in your depression, your anxiety, and your sadness because you've tried. But the question is, have you looked with all your might and all your soul and all your mind to find joy? Because the truth is, it is in you. Okay, so let's go over this again. The two ways that I'm aware of on how to bring the blocks up that are blocking your joy is, one, change your focus. If somebody is rude, you appreciate kindness. And so you focus on all of the kind people, and that feeling of kindness is what you're after. Two, you question your beliefs. You put them to the test. You say, is it true? Can I absolutely know that that's true? How do I react when I believe that thought? And then you turn it around, and the same thing you're expecting from the world is what you're not giving. If you aren't feeling love, it's because you're not giving love. Love has to flow through you. It can't come outside of yourself, because how are you ever going to feel it? And then ask yourself this question: if not now, when? 2020 is such a great number. It's an amazing time to change your life, to change your thoughts, to change your mood, to change your attitude, to be in a state of joy, and to at least find out within yourself if it's possible. And I think it's way more valuable than having $1 million hidden in your house somewhere. This is your life. This is your joy. This is your livelihood. This is you, and you are so valuable and so worth it that your life can be overflowing and abundant. And by abundant, I just don't mean money. I mean abundance of joy, abundance of love, abundance of peace, abundance of friends. This is a life worth living, and everything else is just settling. So I challenge you to find out for yourself, because only then will you know. Just believing that somebody's telling you isn't going to give you that joy and that peace. You have to find out for yourself. Peace to you.